This is the 22nd season of Bass Talk Live. BTL is presented by Bass Cat Boats, Strike King Lures, AFTCO, Pro Guide Batteries, Spro, Gamakatsu, The Bass Tank, Beatdown Outdoors, and Sunline.
BTL coming at you.
Making a habit out of this BTL at night thing. Welcome back to another exciting edition of BTL Bass Talk Live, where we're going to talk about bass fishing. We're going to talk about big money bass fishing tonight. I was doing BTL this morning with Matt Steffen, and I mean, this is what I do for a living. I cover the sport of professional bass fishing. I fish the opens. I live it. It's my life 24/7. And press release drops about midway through the show this morning. And if you notice, I was trying to look at some stuff while I was talking to Matt and all that stuff, and I'm reading it, and the show ends, and it's from the World Bass Enterprises. There's this gold and black kind of diamond shape. It says 2026, the Champions Tournament. The press release reads, World Bass Enterprises unveils the Champions Tournament featuring top 50 anglers and record-setting $3 million purse. And that got my attention because if you know anything about bass fishing over the past years, the whole point and goal has been to make a sustainable living for the top level. And any of these professional bass anglers, particularly the Bassmaster Elite Series, Bass Pro Tour, and it's always been a pay to play game. So that got my attention. Then the next headline is 5-day event in Nashville to crown the first ever World Bass Fishing Champion and a record award of $1.25 million to the winner. Well, if you know anything about bass fishing, you know that the Forrest Wood Cup back in the day, you picture Folger's jersey, $1 million holding it up. I mean, there's been a couple $1 million bird. There's never been a $1.25 million. Then you go to the payout and it's 500 for second, 300 for third. It's over $3 million. Then I started making calls. Now my interest was peaked. Long story short, we have a special edition BTL at night with the owner and CEO of World Bass Enterprises, Brian Bird, the Associate VP, his son, Stephen Bird, and Dalton Smith, who is the VP of Marketing. Also caught a few big fish in his day. If that name sounds familiar, it's because there's been more than one fish over 13 pounds in his boat, including a 15-pounder a couple years ago. And they were all in Texas and agreed to jump on BTL. So I'm going to be open and honest. I know just about as much as this as you guys do who are watching it. So I cannot wait to get into this show tonight. Gentlemen, thank you for joining BTL at night.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having us.
All right. First of all, let's get it from my left to right. We have Stephen Bird, Associate VP of World Bass Enterprises. That is your son, Brian Bird. You're the owner and CEO, the guy who's kind of making this entire thing happen. And then on the right, Dalton Smith, full-time guide at Disney World, right? Is that they call her guide?
There's a couple of names for it. Jurassic Park is my pick, but yes, sir. Just down the road from where we're at right now.
All right, let's jump in right to the beginning of this. I am reading this thing about World Bass Enterprises. I did not know much, if anything, about this coming down. I have seen on social media Brian throughout today, big names. I've seen Jacob Wheeler. I've seen Ott Defoe. I've seen Gerald Swindle. I've seen a lot of guys who are really excited about this event. Just as an overview, you're the kind of guy who's making this happen. What has today been like? And then we will work backwards to the origins of this and how we ended up with me in Shawnee, Oklahoma, and you in Eastland, Texas, talking about the biggest bass tournament in history.
All right. Well, the day started early. The website launched at 6:30 Central this morning. And then we had a schedule of everything that was going to be released throughout the day. Some things went live at 8 o'clock, and then 8:30, then 9. And So it just was a cool morning. We've been working our tails off to get to this point. Lots of long nights, weekends, everything. I mean, I remember laying in bed, tossing and turning at night, thinking of everything we got to do the next day to get ready for this. And, the day was finally here today, and then laying in bed last night, still tossing and turning, thinking, all right, we got this done, and we got this done. We wanted this launch to be perfect, right? I mean, there's a lot of things out there in the bass fishing world that people can, they see something, they're like, okay, here we go again, something this bad or this, so we're trying to stay away from any negativity. We want everything to be positive. We want everything to be right. We wanted to have a great release, a great launch, and, get the bass fishing world excited. And everything that we've seen, tracking our social media content, Dalton did a great job on that today. All of our social media outlets over, last we checked, we were almost at 90,000 views on Facebook. That's a Facebook page that didn't even exist until 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock this morning. So, I mean, we feel like we've done a good job at letting the bass world know that we're bringing something really cool to everybody to watch and see. And it was a great day. So here we are. Now, then we got Dalton reached out. He's like, hey, man, we got our first podcast opportunity. What do you think? I'm like, well, let's do it. As long as I can drink my vodka and have my tonic and we can talk bass fishing, I'm good.
There you go. All right. So what we are talking about is a 5-day event that will take place between October 28th and November 1st, 2026, that will be held on Old Hickory Lake at Sanders Ferry Park in Henderson, Tennessee. We talked about the prize. The anglers who will be competing in this event are the top 25 in the points from the Bass Pro Tour and the top 25 in the Angler of the Year points from the Bassmaster Elite Series. And there is also a win and you're in component to this event, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. That is perfectly correct.
So total, you have the possibility of having, if there's 9 Elite Series and 8 BPT events, you're talking 60 some anglers.
Yeah, we're expecting 50 to 60, somewhere around in there. Obviously, there's going to be a few people that win that don't place in the top 25. 5 to 10 is what we're expecting. So,
and the way this thing was kept under wraps, we're one event into the BPT season. The Bassmaster Elite Series kicks off on a very cold Lake Gunnersville on Thursday. They wrapped up their final day of practice today, an off day for media tomorrow. But if you go to the WBE, I'm going to have to get used to saying that, WBE, World Bass Enterprises. We're big on acronyms. Oh, no, there's this guy named KBD who started this acronym thing. Brian, we're big on acronyms. So
just look at the hat if you get confused. Right?
Yeah, there you go. The WBE, there is already a points system up. So Drew Gill, who I assume is leading because he won the event after one event, also has an asterisk next to his name, also was in studio 3 nights ago at BTL. We did a great 2.5-hour show with him in studio. So he is in this event, and Drew Gill, who has already won $1 million in 3 BPT events at 22 years old, will be fishing for $1.25 million in Tennessee in October, correct?
Yeah, we were actually at the event and got to tell him after he won, after he had his celebration with his family there at the dock. And I actually know Drew from back in the day fishing at Campbellsville University after he got done and switched over there to finish out his college career. So it was pretty cool to tell an old friend that he was going to be fishing for $1.25 million. So he was pretty excited about that, but he's known since he won the event.
Yeah, Dalton, you're the VP of Marketing, so I'm assuming it's kind of one of your jobs to get this out today and let people know about this. But also, from what I understand, a lot of NDAs were signed on this that kind of kept it under wraps from a lot of the general public. How many of the professional anglers, because there's only 151 anglers that have the ability to qualify for this tournament, how many of them were aware of this before today's press release?
Very, very few. We've had a lot of people reach out to us today, kind of shocked that this came out because they hadn't heard anything about it. And I think we did a very good job at just kind of keeping things on the low and working hard and just being ready for today. So it was very few.
And a lot of the Elite Series guys now are entering Guntersville knowing that they need to catch them, not only to make the Classic and for points, but to get entry into this event.
Yes, sir. That was one of the reasons we wanted to get the release out as soon as we could, is that we felt like the anglers needed to know that there was something new out there that they were fishing for, right? I mean, if you're an elite fisherman, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th was cool because you were trying to make the top 50 to fish in the Classic. Well, now 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th are not cool if you're trying to fish in our Champions Tournament. So you might make some different decisions. And even if you're in 25th or, 24th, 23rd, do you take that chance or do you stay calm and go catch the fish that you can catch, weigh in and stay where you're at, right? So, we just thought it was important.
No, I really don't know. If I've got a chance to fish for 1.25, I'm pulling out all the big guns there. I'm willing to drop to 35th in those points. I'm going for the 1.25. It's an interesting time in the world of professional bass fishing now. That 2019 kind of split with the BPT and the Elite Series. Prior to that time, a little bit of a history lesson here, and I know you guys are familiar with it. There was a TTBC, the Toyota Texas Bass Classic, brought together the top 15 from the Elite Series, the FLW Tour, and the PAA Tournament Series, now defunct, that was held by Toyota, Texas Parks and Wildlife. They had it was kind of the only time where the FLW and Elite Series guys were able to get together and kind of have a head-to-head bragging rights. But one of the interesting things about this, and I say that because there's been several large independent tournament organizations that have come about over the last couple of years. Obviously, the Ultimate Angler, which was on Guntersville last year, Tucker Smith won that for $500,000. You've got this Dual Threat Team Series for $100,000. This is completely separate from any and other organization. This is your own entity and no relation with any other tournament series going on today, correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay. But you also, there's no outside way for amateurs, Toyotas, Opens, invitational guys to make it. This is the top of the top from each of the series going head to head, not only individually, but also to kind of determine bragging rights, BPT versus Elite Series.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
All right.
There is one potential where one angler could maybe make it, but
I'm assuming that's winning the Classic.
Nah, no, we're going to keep that under wraps.
Okay, I was just saying, I would assume like if a nation guy,
everything, but maybe there's potentially one other.
Okay.
That could potentially have a chance to fish in this tournament. We'll leave it at that for tonight.
Okay, so there is a chance, however small, that someone listening to this in their living room in Nebraska or Kansas could potentially fish at this event, hypothetically, if that comes to fruition.
That's right. You got it.
Okay. Fantastic. All right, let's get back to the beginning of this thing. How did all of this come about? How did it end up where you three were sitting at the table? Like, I mean, Dalton, you're a big bass guide who fished collegiately and you spend like 250 days on the water. How did you end up sitting next to Brian here?
Yeah, it's actually a really crazy story. So I started my guide business in Kentucky, moved it to Texas, and Mr. Brian Bird was my first ever client on OHIV. And
like Brian Bird sitting next to you.
Yeah, Brian Bird sitting next to me. Yes, sir. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We went out in his boat and had a great day on OHIV. Didn't catch any big ones, but had a solid day. And ever since then, we just became friends and started fishing a lot. I mean, we've been on the water a lot together, and I fished the Opens as well. Would go up to Minnesota the last 2 years to Leech Lake, so I would run some trips up there after the tournament, and Brian flew up there and to catch a big smallmouth with me, and we're sitting around a campfire one night, and Brian had been listening to us group of guys just talk about sport of bass fishing, and
what's his name? that made it. He qualified. He was there.
Yeah, Sam Hangy was there.
Okay.
A lot of guys were there around the campfire. We were just chasing trophy smallmouth on Mille Lacs and a couple other small lakes around there. And we come up with this little drink. It's called the Fruit Millie. It's probably
Kind of a drill drink. But it tasted good.
Yeah, it tasted good because we're sitting around a campfire, and Brian just started asking us questions, and we were kind of filling Brian out. And he came up with this idea, like, why don't we do this? And we're all like, what? And we talked about it, and we really talked about it. And then we kind of, a year went by, and it was brought up a couple of times in conversation between me and Brian and I. And then we fast forward to this last year, we go back up to Minnesota and fish again. And Brian broke his PB smallmouth. We just love going up there and fishing, right? And we're all sitting around the campfire again with his wife and my girlfriend and Brett Cannon, and just sitting there. And we brought it up again. And I think on the way home, Brian called me and said, let's get serious about this. So from then on, we've been, full steam ahead, and we've been working really, really hard, I guess, since September and lining everything out. And here we are sitting at a table in his fishing man cave and talking to you all about this big new event, the Champions Tournament.
One of the things that, if you listen to the Drew Gill show, is amazing is the old AI or Chat GPT. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out. Brian, you, for lack of a better term, worked your ass off. We're an entrepreneur, made some of the right moves, and you're the guy behind this thing. Fair way to say it?
Yeah, fair way. Yeah. I started, and I won't go into great details,
Yep.
but started the electrical company with a little Ford Ranger pickup, some business cards, a pager, and about $300 worth of tools. And 25 years later, we sold it to a company and was very successful. So we'll just leave it at that.
There you go. And Steven, did you work with that company too? What's your involvement with the fishing? Are you like the brains behind this? Or are you also a guy who fishes too?
For that company, I worked for about a year. Then I decided to go back to school and went back to school. And now he brought me on here. I fish with him. Every once in a while, we'll fish some tournaments together. I don't fish near as much as them, obviously, but I do enjoy it when I get out on the water. Actually, Dalton over there, he got me on my PB as well. We spent about 5 hours on one fish one day, just sitting on top of a fish trying to catch it. So that was a long day, but it was worth it.
How big was it?
It was 888.
Oh, 888s. That can't get any better. And then Brian, how big was your smallmouth?
Oh gosh, what was she? 5 something?
Yeah, it was right under 6.
Almost 6 pounds.
I don't know. I'd have to look back on it. He caught a 585 the first year. This one, I think it was a 6, or if not, it was right at
They get up over 5, they start looking different. It's like those largemouth. Anything over 8 just starts looking different. How many fish over 13 have been in your boat? That's a wild sign if you have to think about that question.
I'm going to say 8 to 10, some 8. Yeah, the biggest one was 1665, and that was a client fish.
What was that like?
It was insane. Yeah, flat, calm day, bluebird skies, Bass Book 101 said they wouldn't bite that day. And I think that was the second bite. He caught an 8-pounder right before that. No bites all day. Caught an 8, then a 1665. We're very blessed here in Texas to live around some insane fish. Brian's got a 13 out of Ivy as well. So
is that thing on the wall, Brian?
Yeah, at the office there at WBE headquarters. We have a meeting room, and she's up there shining at us all. Every day when we walk in, we get to see her up there on the wall telling us that the future is bright.
Okay, so whoever wants to take over this next section can take over, but there's a big difference from, hey, this would be cool, to, hey, this is a format, to let's actually start working on this plan. So we're around Mille Lacs, which is a magical spot. If you've been up there, if you haven't been up there, like it's cool. And you've got the mystery beverages. It's flowing. I mean, there's a lot of things that are great ideas around campfires with the beverages flowing, but that never come to fruition. So when did the actual work kind of start, and what were kind of some of the first steps into actualizing this concept?
Yeah, so, I sold the company Bird Electric almost 3 years ago in April. And, everybody's been asking me what I'm going to do next. So when we got back from that trip, I let a month go by, and I really looked for reasons not to do this tournament. That's the truth. Why shouldn't I do it? Why hasn't nobody done this? I mean, I've done my due diligence. I've learned a lot in the last 30 years of being in business. And so did a lot of due diligence, trying to figure out why I shouldn't. And then I couldn't find a reason why, really, why not to do it. So I called my attorney up, told him what I was wanting to do there in Dallas. And he said, Brian, he said, this is really not what we do. It's kind of out of our realm. But I have a really good friend out in LA that owns a firm out there, and that's what they specialize in. So he made the introduction, and then we entered into an agreement with them to represent us throughout this process. And then they introduced us to Excel Sports. Excel Sports has kind of been helping us through this whole process, finding production companies, marketing companies, kind of how about to go about the processes, the launching of everything. Has been a great partner to us. And, that's how it all happened. That's how it all went down. And we just keep meeting cool, great people, and helping us produce this and get us to where we are. And, there's still a lot to figure out, a lot of moving pieces to this thing. We're truly going to be producing a World Bass Championship style tournament. In my mind, it's the Super Bowl or the World Series or the Masters in golf, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're after, and that's the type of production I expect from my team, and that's the kind of results we expect. And we're going to roll out the red carpet for the anglers, and we're going to roll out the red carpet for all the fans, those that want to attend personally, and for those that cannot attend personally, we'll make sure that you're able to watch it. It'll be live streamed across the world. So
the main question that and I see Saturday here asking why you, what made you decide that you wanted to be the guy to do this?
Well, I love bass fishing. My dad taught me how to bass fish. My dad taught me how to be an electrician. I already made a good living and a career out of being an electrician. My dad died 10 years ago this year. Died at a young age of 64. Today's his birthday. And people wanted to, we wanted to launch this day. We wanted to launch that day. And I said, no, we're going to wait and launch today. It's my dad's birthday today. And when I was 7 years old, we would go to the stock tanks around Coleman, Texas, and bass fish all day long, every weekend. That's what we did. And so I just love the sport. And then as Dalton and them told me about, as I learned more about the bass, I wasn't aware of the big split.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't follow all that back then. I was just a bass. I just love the sport, right? I love the bass fish. I love competition. Golf. When you get older, you get my age. I was a pretty damn good baseball player when I was young. Played some college ball, but as you get older, you can't. Those things go by you. So you got sports like fishing and golf that you can still compete in. But anyway, I'm just a competitive person. I understood that there was a need for this with all of these. I guess the split of the two, there was a lot of drama. I guess, like I said, I don't know about all of that.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just what I've heard. I really
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
May or may not have been.
So I just thought, what? Let's just this bass fishing is an awesome sport. It's a great way to raise children. My dad's dad, I call him Pawpaw Floyd. And I remember to this day, I don't know why in the hell the sign was in his restroom, but it was. And it was above his toilet, and it said, "Give me a fish, I'll eat for a day. Teach me to fish, and I'll eat for a lifetime." So they always stuck with me. So I just love the sport. I saw an opportunity. I'm an entrepreneur. I like to take risks, and here we are today. We're gonna do something the world's never seen.
Very cool. All right. Really good website that launched today. It is worldbassenterprises.com. The link is in the bio for this show. But there were a couple other things that are associated with the Champions Tournament that I don't know how far you guys have as far or how fulfilled they are, but things that caught my attention: a 70,000 square foot expo at Operaland Resort and Convention Center. Steven, is that your baby?
yeah, it's been assigned to me. We're working hard on it, trying to figure some things out. So we're looking to partner with the company out of Nashville, Heritage. They work on putting expos all over the country together. They're actually doing the helping with the NWTF next week in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at using them. It's new to us, it's our first time doing this, so we feel comfortable. We're working with them, and we want it to be not just a bass expo. We want it to include all outdoors, hunting, ATVs, camping gear, just a little bit of everything. That way, more people than just your regular bass fishermen show up, and just makes it a little bit more fun for everybody.
The other thing that I like with this, or that is an interesting add-on, is a Pro-Am event. Any information on the Pro-Am event? Who is included in that, involved in that, what that entails?
All I can tell you is that the top 15 anglers that qualify to fish championship Saturday have an obligation to stay back and fish in the Pro-Am on Sunday. That'll be held on Percy Priest Lake. It's going to be a 4 or 5 hour tournament, 10 to 3, something like that. Details are still being worked out. Who shows up? Saturday night at the championship dinner, the anglers will be auctioned off to the public, or to the attendees of the championship dinner, and that's who that's who they'll fish.
It's a
with.
Calcutta, basically like a Calcutta. An old school Calcutta. Did you ever do the old school Calcuttas?
Yeah, for sure. So that's how it's going to go down, and I don't know. There might be some pretty big people that show up wanting their chance in history to fish with one of these guys. We'll see.
Go ahead.
We've got some ideas.
Okay, so I've done a little research over the past 6 hours here. I was supposed to be getting my crappie rods ready because we're going crappie fishing tomorrow. I had to make a call and say, hey, we might not be there till afternoon because I got the show tomorrow. But I made a couple calls, and what I'm kind of figuring out is you guys are representing it, but you have a lot of things in place behind just you three guys with great ideas. You have a consulting company, you're working with reputable organizations and people behind the scenes who specialize in big events like this.
Yes, sir. Yeah, now we'd be lost without them. I mean, you can have a vision and you can do everything, but you got to be smart enough to know what you don't know, right? And I think I know that. So but I've been blessed in my life to know that I've made some really good friends that know a lot of people. So we've been from the very beginning. Everything's been really smooth, considering our lack of knowledge of this, because of the people that we've been surrounded by friends and relationships from prior business. But it's without our partners and friends, we wouldn't be where we're at today.
Let's talk about the venue here. Old Hickory Lake in Tennessee, historic lake. It's no OH Ivy though. So let's talk about what we're kind of expecting. Let's get into the nitty gritty here as far as what the guys are going to be looking at and how you settled on that fishery for this event.
Yeah, so we actually went to Nashville, boots on the ground, looked at a bunch of different lakes and venues, and whenever we showed up to Old Hickory Lake and saw Saunders Ferry Park and saw their big, beautiful 70 acres or however much it is there, just places to set up things and how we really foresee this event going and the attendance that we think we're going to have there at Saunders Ferry Park. It just sets up perfect. And, obviously on social media, we've been looking and some of the comments are like, why Old Hickory, why this, why that? And, we're trying to crown a true world champion. And we really think that putting them on a tougher fishery is going to make it really interesting and also going to just keep people to the very last, cast engaged and just wanting to know who's going to win $1.25 million, because if the weights are tight, it's going to be really, really interesting. It's going to get fun to watch. So that's kind of why we settled on that. And something cool that I guess we haven't talked about or we've really seen anything is we were allowing anglers to walk through to go fish the river as well. And, we've heard some things about that. We've got some contacts in Nashville that obviously have been helping us choose this place and talk about the fishery and stuff like that. But that's kind of the nitty gritty on why we chose Old Hickory Lake. Obviously there's better fisheries around there, but that's why we chose it. Just being so close to the Gaylord where everything's going down. Mm-hmm. Saunders Ferry Park is just immaculate and perfect for what we're trying to do for this first year, right? This first launch year, we really want the event to speak for itself and really be what we want it to be for the fans.
I like it. I do remember a pretty famous Elite Series tournament that went down on Old Hickory where Kevin Worth ran up the river and was flipping a soft plastic into shallow mid-river laydowns. Little known fact about that tournament, very superstitious individual. He's actually a horse dentist, jockey in the Kentucky Derby back in the day. Every single night of that tournament that he led, he went and got 2 pounds of crab legs from Hooters across the street at the hotel. I covered that tournament. I was at it. I already see. Go ahead.
All the anglers out there right now are getting ready to go to Hooters and buy crab legs. I promise you, for the tournament.
So I did talk to several anglers today that legitimately have already started considering making arrangements on off weeks to go to Old Hickory to practice for this should they finish inside the top 20.
That's awesome.
Honestly, I also got to point this out. That's Dave Mercer that just jumped in. He said, I love seeing everyone excited about this. Should be a great event. Reminds me of the original TTBC. Dave, great MC of the TTBC. I think he is currently en route to Lake Guntersville for the first Bassmaster Elite Series. Now, he did not pay me or tell me to say this, but if you're looking for an MC, I'm just saying the man has a little bit of experience there. So
Dave Mercer's a legend.
He definitely is. Format wise, I don't know how closely you follow this game right now, Brian, but we got a bunch of formats for a bunch of different, where some you could scope and some you can't, and some days you can't. You can scope for 3 hours and some you have to take it off. Some you can scope the whole event, some you can't scope any of the event. You got multiple tours how are we going to work this out as far as what these guys can use electronics wise for this event?
Yeah, our format's going to be real simple. So Thursday and Friday are qualifying days. Saturday is championship Saturday. So on the 2 qualifying days, Thursday and Friday, there's 1 day with stope and 1 day without stope. We're not going to tell them what day they can use their stope, because we feel like as the angler, they may feel like one day's better for them to use the stope and the other day's better not to. So they can have stope 1 day, Thursday or Friday. It's up to the angler. Even say like they start the morning off and they're saying, hey, we're not going to use stope today. 10 o'clock, things are not going well on the first day and they want to use stope. Turn it on, that's fine. But that counts as your stope day. Then the next day you're not allowed stope. And then on championship Saturday, we're hoping to have 8 hours on the water of fishing time. So it's half and half, 4 hours with scope, 4 hours without scope.
I like it. I am not an expert on Old Hickory, but I do believe that you will see fish shallow. You will see fish on scope. Like, while not known for gigantic bass, it is a fisherman's lake, for like lack of a better term. Like, if you want to get up there and kick it around and get grimy, you can compete with the guys who are offshore, from what I understand. I know there's probably some more people from that Nashville, Tennessee area who are more familiar with that lake than I am, but I like it. Have I left out any key details here that you want to make sure that you guys get in before we get too far in here?
You know, I mean, something that hasn't been covered here that I'd like to talk about is the Champions Cup. That's a trophy that will be presented to the winning. So whatever angler wins, that Champions Cup will be presented to their tour, whether it be, so say if Ott Defo was to be the winner, we would present the Champions Cup to MLF, BPT, however you want to refer to them, and they would be able to take that trophy throughout the year, take it to the Red Crest, take it to their tournaments, put it in their office, whatever they want to do with it. It's their bragging rights, right?
That's going to end up in Boyd Duckett's office if
Yeah.
BPT wins that one. Let's not kid ourselves here.
Yeah, and if Chase wins, he'll put it in his office.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be in Birmingham.
Yes, sir.
I see all sorts of things. You know, I cover content and the professional bass fishing. I see all sorts of things where, you know, you have spreadsheets and you're saying, well, there were 19 Elite Series guys at 6 BPT or 6 Elite Series and 19 BPT guys and all that. I think this is a really cool bragging rights. I know, having covered the old PAA events for PAA. I don't know why they let me do that when I was in my mid-20s, but they did. There was a very friendly rivalry, and a lot of times guys who hadn't gotten to see other guys, you know, you didn't get to see the David Dudleys and the Andy Morgans and the Brian Thrifts if you're a KVD or an Edwin Evers or something on the bass side. But because of what was at stake at those TTBCs, they also wanted to win that so bad. And it was such a cool mix of, hey, good to see you. I hope I curb stomp you.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, there's still a few things we're working on. There's another piece of the pie, $500,000 piece, but I'll leave it there for now.
A tease.
A tease.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like it. While we're talking about the money, I'll bring up the payout right here, which I said is available. WorldBassEnterprises.com. $1.25 million for first. Did you know there had been $1 million and you just wanted to say, hey, let's throw another quarter on there just to make this thing the biggest ever?
You know, the truth of the matter is we felt like it was the biggest opportunity, the biggest payday ever. And our marketing team, right before we get ready to go, a couple of days before we get ready to go launch this today, they're like, well, there was this tournament back in 07, 08. It paid $1 million, but it was like Ranger Cup paid $500,000, I think, and somebody else paid $500,000. So it was $1 million payday. No, not disputing that. And so I went to bed. I was like, oh, okay, $1,001,000. That looks weird. 1,100,000. That sounds weird. So I woke up the next morning, called the marketing company, and said, all right, here's what we're going to do. It's $1.25 million to the winner. Now, nobody can say we're not having the biggest payday in bass fishing history no more. So that's how it happened.
There you go. All right. First place, 1.25, 500K for second, 300 for third, 200 for fourth, 100 for fifth, 75 for sixth. 10th place pays 45K. 15th place, $20,000, 16th through 50th, a guaranteed show up money of $8,000, total purse of over $3 million for this. Couple questions before we let you guys I know I hate cutting into shop time. That's the best time there is. A couple questions though. What do you see? What is the game plan on this as far as longevity? Is this something that you'd like to see 3, 5, 10, 20 years down the road? Is this a do it one time and see how it goes? What are we working for as far as kind of making this an annual event?
Yeah, I mean, my vision is 20 years from now, we're still doing this event, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's a success. I think it's needed for all the fans. It's needed for the anglers. As long as it makes economic sense to continue to do it, which I think it will. Our goal is to keep producing this tournament year after year, growing it, bringing in new spectators to the sport, drawing more people to the sport of bass fishing, and continue to promote all of the great things the sport has to offer.
I do see in part of the Get Involved, there is an opportunity for sponsorships. You don't have to announce them or say anything, but has there been interest in sponsorships behind this, both in endemic or non-endemic? And is that something that is going to kind of evolve as this gets closer?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, we've kept this a secret, up till today. So we haven't even reached out to talk to any sponsorships. You were able to go on the website today, and if you're interested in sponsorships, and we had some pretty cool people, endemic and non-endemic, fill out saying that they wanted to be involved in sponsorship. They wanted to participate in the expo. So we even had people wanting to volunteer to be marshals in the boats. I mean, it was a great day. All kinds of people wanted to get involved and help. So it was really cool.
And then live streaming. Everyone's got to have a live stream now. Are we going to be able to watch this from the comfort of our home, or am I putting the cart ahead of the horse there?
No. Yeah, we couldn't do it without the live stream. So working on those details with several different companies, and more to come on that, but it will definitely be live streamed around the world.
264 days, 10 hours, 45 minutes, and 17 seconds.
That's right.
Yeah.
Watching the countdown.
Yeah. Matt, I'd like to say something real quick, just on the behalf of World Bass Enterprises and Brian's vision. This is something that we really truly see that's going to bring the sport of bass fishing together. And with all the negativity, with the day and age of social media that we're at right now, and the way things are going in the professional fishing industry, we're very excited to have a big event and a positive impact on the sport, and hopefully change bass fishing forever. So
fantastic. Anything you want to add into this, Steven, before we sign off?
It's exciting. It's exciting to get to be a part of it, to be part of the team that's bringing it to the fans, to the industry. I know we're going to work our hardest to give everybody the show that we feel like they deserve. We're going to work our tails off to give the anglers what they deserve, and we just want to make it special for them and for the fans and for the industry as a whole. We want to grow the industry, make it bigger and better each and every year. So it's exciting. We're happy about it.
Fantastic. Yeah, I said that countdown number and it freaked Brian out. He bounced. Holy cow, 264 days. That's it.
No, I had to go make some phone calls.
Yeah. I know. Hey, I really appreciate it. Brett Cannon, I talked to him today. He called me after. He said, hey, you got to get in on this. I appreciate, Dalton, you reaching out. I had some emails from your PR team and media that came in on it too. Everything looks great. And I appreciate you guys putting this together at short notice. So can't thank you guys enough, and looking forward to seeing how it goes.
Yeah, we thought it was a great way to end our launch day, to kind of clear some things up and just show the world what we're going to do and what we're about, and Brian's vision, and celebrate World Bass Enterprises and the champions. We've had an awesome day, and we're excited to get to work. 264 days of work, and it's going to be a great event. We can't wait to see everybody in Nashville, Tennessee, Old Hickory Lake. Don't forget to stop by the Gaylord and come to the expo and just have a party.
There it is. I think we're going to close this out with this pretty cool WBE promo here. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. BTL at night. people are like, well, you surely you heard about this. You knew about it. I didn't. This has been an interesting one. I look forward to following it, seeing the announcements of it. And for the top level of professional bass fishing, there's going to be some guys in there. There's going to be the Jacob Wheelers in there. There's going to be the guys in there who could be the rich get richer. But this is a life-changing opportunity at no entry fee. It's $1.25 million, folks. So here's a promo, and then we will wrap things up for the evening. I think that's all we got.
Introducing the first event of its kind, the Champions Tournament by World Bass Enterprises. The top 25 anglers from the Elite Series and BPT have a 3-day battle for a first-place prize of $1.25 million to crown a true world champion. Held in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, this isn't your average tournament. This showdown features a massive trade show at the Gaylord Opryland, live concerts from some of the biggest names, and every special moment streamed live for the world to see. Welcome to the Champions Tournament.
All right. This has been another edition of BTL. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow. For more information, if you're new to BTL, check it out. We do a live show every Monday through Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Central Time, covering the sport of bass fishing. We'll talk to everyone then. Have a good evening.